Have you ever looked back and suddenly realized someone probably liked you, but you completely missed every sign? It happens far more often than you think, not because people are good at hiding their feelings, but because our brains are surprisingly bad at recognizing attraction when we're emotionally involved. In fact, psychology suggests that people often reveal their feelings long before they admit them. The problem is, most of these signals don't look romantic at all. Today, you'll discover 9 subtle signs you might be overlooking right now. And the last one is often mistaken for simple politeness, when it's actually one of the strongest indicators of hidden attraction. 1. You notice they remember things you barely mentioned. Maybe you casually mentioned your favorite coffee, a TV show you watched years ago, or an important meeting you had this week. Then, days, or even weeks later, they bring it up again. At first, it feels like they simply have a good memory, but psychologists call this selective attention. Our brains naturally store more information about people who matter emotionally. The more someone thinks about you, the easier it becomes for them to remember details that everyone else forgets. But memory isn't the biggest clue. The next sign usually happens without either of you noticing. 2. You catch them mirroring your behavior. You lean forward. A few seconds later, they do the same. You smile. They smile back almost instantly. Sometimes they even begin matching your tone of voice or speaking speed. This unconscious behavior is known as mirroring. People naturally imitate those they feel connected to because it creates a stronger sense of rapport. Most of the time, they don't even realize they're doing it. Mini reveal. Ironically, people trying to hide their feelings often copy you even more than those who openly flirt. 3. You keep running into them. Have you ever thought, why do I keep seeing this person everywhere? Maybe they suddenly join conversations you're having. Choose the seat nearby, or always seem available whenever you're around. Sometimes it really is coincidence, but sometimes people quietly create opportunities to spend more time with someone they enjoy. Not because they're trying to impress you, because being near you already feels rewarding. 4. You notice they act differently around you. Pay attention to how they behave with everyone else. Then compare it to how they behave with you. Someone who is normally confident may suddenly become awkward. Someone quiet may become surprisingly talkative. Others laugh more, or become unusually nervous. Attraction doesn't always make people smoother. Sometimes it makes them completely unlike themselves. But here's where many people get fooled. The next sign doesn't happen during conversations. It happens after they end. 5. You realize they always find a reason to reach out again. The conversation is already over. Yet later that evening, you receive a meme, a song, a funny video, or a message saying, "This reminded me of you." It seems random, but psychologically, it's often an attempt to keep the emotional connection alive without making their feelings obvious. The message isn't the point. Staying connected is. 6. You feel like they pay more attention to your reactions than everyone else's. When you tell a joke, they look at you first. When something exciting happens, they check your reaction. When they say something funny, their eyes immediately search for your smile. Why? Because your opinion carries more emotional weight than they may be willing to admit. Here's something surprising. Sometimes the strongest sign isn't what they do, it's what they stop doing. 7. You notice they put their phone away around you. Most people constantly glance at their phones, but around you, they become unusually present. They listen, maintain eye contact, and rarely seem distracted. Attention is one of the most valuable things we can give another person. When someone freely gives it to you, It's rarely meaningless. 8. You find that they remember to check in. They ask how your interview went, whether your headache is better, if you arrived home safely. These aren't dramatic romantic gestures. They're small emotional investments. And relationships are often built on repeated small investments, not one grand confession. But there's one sign that quietly predicts attraction better than almost anything else. 9. You realize they keep including you in their future. Listen carefully to their language. We should try that cafe someday. I'll send you that article later. Let's do that next weekend. They're not just talking about today. Without realizing it, they're creating reasons for tomorrow. When someone imagines you as part of their future, even in small ways, it often reveals that you've already become important in their mind. No single sign can prove that someone secretly likes you. Friendly people can show many of these behaviors too, but when several of these patterns appear consistently, they begin telling a much bigger story. So here's a question. Looking back, have you ever realized someone liked you only after it was too late? Or maybe you're starting to recognize these signs in someone right now. Share your experience in the comments.